Upishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupakata Mahyam Tatanti Swapatantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Regunata Nitam Tam Sujivam Satvaitam Savadudam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lelida Shri Vishadaginamsha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanda Radha Kanda Namosve Taptakanjana Gaurangi Shri Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhana Sudhe Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhesha Kripa Sindhupe Evacha Patitana Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhudale Srimade Bhaktivedanta Swamine Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Shati Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhaktavrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna everyone. So let's start with the chapter 2, sloka 12 to 24. So just a quick recap. Okay, I'll go to Srila Prabhupada. A quick recap. So, okay, so as you know the answer, you can raise your digital hand. Why was Duryodhana confident of full support of Bhishma Dev and Dronacharya in the battle? Why was raise Reddy Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Mataji, when Draupadi was insulted in the assembly, Bhishma and Drona did not raise their voice.
Yes, that is one reason. Then, that is good. That's the best reason. There's one more reason. Yes, that is one thing. And in the same purport, Prabhupada mentions towards the end.
I think the other reason is that they are. I'm sorry, I think Pandavas are their affectionate Sishyas and are.
Okay. Yeah, okay.
Good.
Okay. Yeah. Suma Mataji, what was the other thing which you know?
Hare Krishna Mataji. Mataji, because Dronacharya, he had addressed that about the Drupada. So he will not show any sympathy towards them, thinking about the enmity that he has on Drupada.
Okay.
For Dronacharya, and Bhishma Deva and Dronacharya were dependent on their financial, like for the
financial background. Okay, so here Prabhupada mentions towards the end, yes, one is what Reddy Prabhu said, the Draupadi's Vastaksheba time they didn't speak, and towards the end he mentions even the gambling match. Even when the gambling match was going on, Bhishma and Dronacharya did not speak a word. So that is the two reasons. And yes, even Jyoti Lakshmi Mataji says, yes, because they are being employed, or they have, as Suma Mataji said, yes, they have been financially depending on them. So they have to keep quiet, and that is another reason. Okay, let's explain the significance of the 4 signs of victory of Pandavas. Like there are 9 signs, but okay, someone else except Reddy Prabhu and Suma Mataji can raise the hand. Any 4 signs you can say, the victory sign. This is from the question bank which I've taken. So these questions can come as your, yes, Manoshi Mataji.
Mataji, the presence of Lord Krishna as the charioteer of Arjuna. Yes. And then the Pataka, which had Hanumanji on his Dhwaja.
What is it called? What was it called? Kapitwaja, no?
Kapitwaja.
Yes.
And then because of then Lord Ram and Lord Krishna are the same, so Lord Rama is also there. And then Mata Lakshmi is there because this is Madhava, and he is the eternal husband of Mala Lakshmi. She always is with him. She is the goddess of fortune. These are the signs I can remember, Mataji.
Yes, very nice. It was Moksha Ekadashi. There was the chariot given by Agni Dev, so many. And you have to explain the significance, okay? So you have listed the thing, but you have to explain why. Some part you have explained. So this is how the question papers will be in a closed book session. And the sloka number will be mentioned, and you can try to recollect, okay? These are all short questions. Transcendental sound of the conch shells, all that. So what is the meaning of the word Gudakesha and why he was called as Gudakesha? Yes, Penaja Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. The meaning of Gudakesha is one who conquered the sleeping.
Yes.
So Arjuna was called as the Budakesha, because whenever he wants to conquer his sleep, he can control the sleeping and he can wake up all those days. Whenever he wants to sleep, he can sleep that much.
And in the sleep, what he used to do? He used to remember Krishna, right? So for a devotee, he have conquered sleep. Not only sleep, ignorance. Sleep and ignorance he have conquered. The 6 aggressors. Who are the 6 aggressors? Killing whom there will be no sin incurred. Yes, Ganeshan Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Mataji, the poison giver.
Yes.
One who kidnaps other person's wife.
Yes.
One who sets other person's house on fire.
Yes.
Then one who attacks with deadly weapons. Then one who plunders riches. Then one who occupies or takes another person's land.
Yes. So these are the 6 aggressors, killing whom there is no sin incurred. Okay. So list the various consequences due to the destruction of the dynasty. So what is the word Krishna uses when the Arjuna says, like once the dynasty? Yes, Adish Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Varna Shankara.
Very good. Varna Shankara. What is that, Prabhu? Can you explain?
Varna Shankara means that there will be no one to guide the children, and they will not know the sanskaras, and they may do something which is against the traditions.
Yeah, so there is no purification processing happening, right? And the chance for liberation is lost. So there is mixing of the population and there will be unwanted progenies born. Okay. Which quality of Arjuna makes him fit to receive the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita according to the last purport of chapter 1? What is the 2 terms? Yes, Madhuri Madaji.
Soft-hearted person.
Yes. And
Devotional service towards the Lord.
Yes, very good. So he is soft-hearted person. So specifically, you have to mention that. Yes, Krishna says, Bhaktosi Sakacheti, he is my devotee and he is my friend. But that is, here is specifically asked last purport of chapter 1. So you should do right to the point. Okay, list 6 symptoms of Bhagavan in English or Sanskrit. 6 opulences or 6. What are that? Bhagavan is full in something, some 6 things. If nobody raised the hand, I can unmute someone then. Now, Adish Prabhu, Penaja Mataji, let's give chance to others. Who didn't speak yet? Now, Aarti Mataji, do you know? Someone who never spoke. Akshay Prabhu, you know. Any opulence you say. The 6 things. Why Krishna is called Bhagavan? Because he have these 6 things in full, no? What was that? Someone who never answered. Gurunath Prabhu. Jyoti Lakshmi Mataji. Why Krishna is called Bhagavan?
Okay, Mataji?
Why Krishna is called Bhagavan? He has 6 things in full, na?
Yeah, one thing is he can predict the future.
And okay, no problem. Let's hear from Sharmila Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji. So he has all riches, all strength, all fame, all beauty, all renunciation, and all knowledge.
Very good.
Full.
So yes. So if it is asked in Sanskrit or English, okay, you don't have to quote the Sanskrit like Aishwarya, Sri, Virasya, Yashasya. No, Aishwaryasya, Virasya, Yashasya, Samagrasya, Vairagya and all that. But these are the 6 symptoms of Bhagavan and he has it full in full. Okay, we should know this. Explain the analogy of sun's 3 features. Yes, Gurunath Prabhu. Prabhupada takes the example of a sun, no? Anyone knows? No idea?
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yes.
The outer circle, Mataji, that is, then middle portion and the sun itself.
So what is it compared to?
Bhagwan, sorry.
Yes.
Paramatma.
You're right.
And
yes. And what is the third one? Bhagwan, Paramatma, and what is that light called? Brahman, right? The Brahman effulgence or Yes, Brahman. Okay. So yes, the sunlight is compared to the Brahman. Then you have the sun planet, which is like the localized one, Paramatma, and the sun god or the sun planet itself, that is the Bhagavan feature. So the three features, Brahmedi, Paramatmedi, Bhagavanedi, Shabdate. So these three things have been compared to the sun. Analogy of the sun has been mentioned. So just a quick recap, so that some questions, if you practice, then it's easy on your closed book assessment. No, so such questions you should be able to answer these questions. So Minister Prabhu says, if we are not able to answer these questions, then we are not preparing ourselves for Bhakti Shastri. So these are the real gems in Bhagavad Gita we should know. Okay, let's go to 12th sloka, 24th sloka. So the 5 reasons for lamentation, as we know, it's compassion, no enjoyment, sinful reactions, destructions of dynasty, and indecision, right? So this is what Arjuna says to Krishna, that these are the 5 reasons, and he feels that these are the real reasons for him not to fight, and Krishna answers each one of the reasons. And we'll see the 12th sloka. Natve evaham jatunasham natvam neme janatipaha nachaivana bhavishyama sarve vayam atah param. Never was there a time when I did not exist, nor you, nor all these kings, nor in the future shall any of us cease to be. Okay, so in this sloka, Krishna refutes 2 things. Can you put in the chat? What is the 2 things? Okay, you're filling attendance form. No, but what is the 2 things Krishna is refuting in this? He's saying, never was there a time when I did not exist. That means something. And, or nor you. Yes, Sunita Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Here Krishna says that the soul doesn't lose its identity, whether in liberated state or conditioned state.
Yes, fine. So some philosophy Krishna is rejecting. Yes, you're coming to that. What is it called?
Mayavad philosophy says that.
Very good, very good. So it's a Mayavad philosophy, and one more. Never was there a time when I did not exist. That means Krishna exists, right?
Eternal.
God
is eternal.
Who is the people who says Krishna, the God doesn't exist?
Mayavadis only, and
no, Mayavadis say Krishna doesn't have a form. But who's the one?
Shunyavadis also.
Shunyavadis also say, yeah, it's vacant. Some more close, some more. Who's the one who rejects who God is there?
Atheist, Mataji.
Atheist, right? So yes, so that's what Krishna is rejecting, Mayavadism and atheism here. Okay, Mayavadism says that the Lord doesn't have a form, and he's the Brahman or the light, and I'm God, you are God, everyone is God. Now that's what the Mayavadis are saying. But Krishna says, so Mayavadism, how is it getting refuted? That Krishna says that I am there, you are there. Now in the previous sloka, you see, Krishna is saying that never was there a time when I did not exist, nor you. That means I, Krishna is separate, you as Arjuna as the Jivatma is different. That means the God is different, the Jiva is different, not like we are same. So that's refuting Mayavadism. And he says, never was there a time when I did not exist. That means Krishna, the Lord, always exists. And the atheists say there is no God. God is not there, or God doesn't exist. The creation happened just like that, as an explosion, something like that, Big Bang theory. So Krishna is refuting 2 things. Mayavadism, he's saying that we're not one, we are 2, and Krishna has a form, and atheism. So as Shunyavadi is, Mataji, like they think that everything is vacuum, and once this body is destroyed, everything is vacuum. Even they don't believe in the concept of soul. But atheists are those who doesn't believe in the existence of God himself. So the Supreme Personality of Godhead is a supreme individual person. He's a person. But Mayavadis doesn't agree with that. And Arjuna, the Lord, is eternal associate. And all the kings assembled are all individual eternal persons. It's not that they did not exist as individuals in the past, and it's not that they will not remain eternal persons. Their individuality existed in the past and in the future and currently. Therefore, there is no cause for lamentation. So it's like a green tree, a green bird going to the green tree. We doesn't lose the individuality. When the bird is different, the tree is different. Another example is a fish in the ocean. So the fish is not merging into the ocean. The fish is just living there, and it's different from ocean. So, right. So we should know that we as Jivatma and the Lord is 2 different. What is that philosophy called? Can you put in the chat? What is that philosophy? It says we are not one, we are 2. Type in the chat. Sunita Mataji can type in the chat to the host. What is that philosophy when and who installed it? In the sense, who gave that philosophy? That we are not one, we are two. That means, yes, Dvaita philosophy. No, Advaita is different. Advaita is, no, Achintya Bheda is also different. Achintya Bheda Abheda Tattvam is for the Gaudiyas, which, no, I'll say, start with this. Advaita philosophy says that we are one by Shankaracharya. Dvaita philosophy says we are two by Madhvacharya. And Achintya Bheda Abheda Tattvam is our philosophy where we are simultaneously one and different from the Lord. That's by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Okay, so this here, it is Dvaita philosophy. Recommended. So Mayavadi's theory is that after liberation, what happens? The individual soul separated by the covering of Maya will merge into the Brahman. What mukti is that called as? Put in the chat. What is that mukti which the Mayavadis get? Now after the soul is liberated, they merge into the effulgence of Brahman. What mukti? There are 5 types of mukti. So yes, Sayuja mukti, very good. So that's called Sayuja mukti, where they merge into existence. That's what Mayavadis think. And they think that they lose their individual existence. But that is not supported by Lord Krishna. Nor is the theory that only think of individuality in the conditioned state supported here. Krishna clearly stays here, and in the future also the individuality of the Lord and others will stay. Okay, so he's refuting Mayavadism and atheism in this sloka. Okay, so Prabhupada mentions about the bee licking the bottle of honey, an analogy. I'll unmute everyone. Does anyone know what is this example used? Why is it used? Towards the end of the purport, you will get it. Bee licking the bottle of honey. Yes, Suma Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Mataji, the Mayavadis are like the bee licking. They are like licking the bottle of honey from outside, Mataji. They are not able to taste the honey as it.
So that means they are not able to understand Krishna. Yes.
Hare Krishna. Yes, so they're not able. They only get the taste of the bottle, and the bottle is has a cap which can be opened only by a devotee.
Yes, so it's only by a devotee. A non-devotee cannot understand Krishna. A non-devotee will not be able to understand devotional service. And it's like just licking the outside the bottle. What taste will the honey we get once you open it? And actually, who is opening? Adish Prabhu is half correct. It's not the devotee, it's a pure devotee who opens, like Srila Prabhupada and our Gurujans. The Guru is the one who is actually opening the bottle for us so that we can dive inside and enjoy the nectar. No? So we want to be like the fishes who go inside the deep ocean and get jewels and pebbles and all that, right? So we don't want to become one with the Lord like Mayavadis think. They are thinking. It is called Kaivalyam Naragayate. I mean, that merging is called Kaivalyam Naragayate. It's like hell. They think they have Vimukta Manina. They think they have got liberation, but they are not actually liberated. Aruhe Krichena Param Padam Tak Padandiyata. They will fall down because that's not the real place to go. And what is the difference between Sayuja Mukti and other type of Mukti? Why do they fall down? Anybody knows? Why does merging in the Brahman, they fall down? Why can't they stay there? And why Sarupya, Salokya, Samipya, they can get permanent mukti? And why is Sayuja people falling down? Why is Mayavadis? Yes, Sunita Mataji.
Until and unless one does devotional services, we cannot go there eternally.
Yes, there is no service. Yes, Sharmila Mataji is right. There is no service. There is only Brahmananda. There is no Sevananda. Sevananda is possible only in other types of muktis. In Gologaranda, when Vaikuntha, if you go, there is service, devotional service. In a joke, we say, how much we'll chant. I mean, it's enough. I think after moksha, I can be bindas and I don't have to do all these things. No, the real devotional service starts after liberation. Once you get mukti or liberation, that's when you do real. Why are we chanting here? We are practicing so that we can go back to Goloka and chant more and do more kirtan and dance more in the kirtan and make nice bhog to the Lord. No, we are practicing here so that we can go there and do the real service. So service is there in Goloka and Vaikuntha and all the other types of mukti. But in Sayuja Mukti, there is no service. You are in the Brahman like this and there is only Brahmananda. There is no Sevananda. So you fall down. Okay, so an aeroplane cannot stay in the air for a long time. Once the fuel is over, it has to come down. So it has to land somewhere. So that's like the Prabhupada gives the example of that aeroplane, how it goes, and it can't stay in the air just like that. Similarly, Mayavadis can't just stay because they didn't taste the nectar, the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, the Bhakti Rasa, the taste of devotional service is got only for the devotee who, by the help of a guru, opens the bottle and then go deep inside devotional service. So that is the thing there. Okay, so in this 12th sloka we saw how Krishna refuting Mayavadism, because Krishna says you exist, I exist. That means the Jiva is also there, God is also there. And atheism also, God says he is there. Never there was a time when he did not exist, so he is always there. So Krishna refute Mayavadism and atheism there. Okay, so the very important sloka, we should all memorize this sloka. Dehinosmin yada dehe kaumaram yavvanam jara tada dehandara praptir dhiras tatra na muhyati. Okay, we can all unmute. Can we chant once? Dehinosmin yada dehe kaumaram yavvanam jara tada dehandara praptir dhiras tatra na muhyati. Yeah, so this is a very important sloka that it's very relevant for preaching. Actually, in Bhakti Shastri, we are preparing you to preach. And if you are not interested in preaching, still, you can preach to yourself. I mean, first we should make our own life successful. Janma sartak kari karo paropakar. And you can preach to your family members or someone. So for preaching, actually, we should have some slokas memorized, so that when you quote, when someone asks, how do you say this rebirth? How do you say this transmigration of soul? You can quote from Bhagavad Gita, and then they can't say anything, because Bhagavad Gita is a shastric evidence you are giving, right? So as the embodied soul continuously passes in this body from boyhood to youth to old age, the soul similarly passes. Yes, Gunashri Mataji, anything is there? Oh, Ganesh Prabhu.
No, Mataji, what happened?
No, I thought you unmuted. Okay.
No, Mataji.
So, yeah. So as the embodied soul continuously passes in this body from boyhood to youth to old age, the soul similarly passes to another body at time of death. A sober person is not bewildered by such a change, right? So Kaumaram, Yavvanam, Jara, Tada, Dehandara Prapti. Dehandara Prapti is transmigration of soul. Okay. Now, this is a very important sloka. So Krishna defeats the compassion and all that thing from here. So because saying the sin part, everything. So Bhishma and Drona, that's what Arjuna was more conscious, right? But here Prabhupada mentions Bhishma and Drona being noble souls, surely after death they'll go to spiritual life. I mean, they'll get a spiritual body next life, at least heavenly bodies, right? Which is superior to material existence. So in either case, Arjuna didn't have to lament. Arjuna was saying, there will be sin if I kill my guru. No, Guru Hatya, that's Dronacharya and Bhishma. He was more worried than his cousins. He was worried about Dronacharya and Bhishma. And so Krishna says, why are you worried? Because they both are pious, right? We know Bhishma and Dronacharya are pious. So definitely they are pious, and definitely after death, their soul can go to, if you are pious, either you go to heavenly planets or you can get a spiritual body and go. So going to heavenly planets, is it a permanent thing? Why? What happens after you go to heavenly planets? Yes, Ganesh and Prabhu. Yes, Prabhu. We can't hear you. I can't hear you, Prabhu. Something with your audio system. Can you correct it? Chinnasamy Pranesham, Prabhu.
Yes, they will be there for a while to experience whatever, karma they have done. Yes. After that, they will again take a birth again.
Where will they take birth?
Birth in the same Buloka only.
Huh? Goloka?
Here only.
Here, right in the
Bhuva,
earth.
said Math.
Bhuva, yeah, Bhuvaloka, or they come back, right? Shrine Punya Martyaloka mission. It's like you have a visa and you go to some country, and once the visa expires, you have to come back, right? Yeah, you have to come to the material world, take birth as humans. Yes. And why is it not possible to do devotional service in heavenly planets? They can do devotional service there and go back to Gologana. Yes, Ganesham Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Now you are audible.
Because the pleasure is too much, Mataji. People will not have that to think about the Lord and do service to Him.
Very nice. Yes. So that's the reason. So in heavenly planets, what happens? There's a lot of extra opulences, somaras to drink and apsaras dancing and all that. Then you'll be lost, bewildered. Even in this material world, we are not doing devotional service with some kind of enjoyments and Bollywood music and Hollywood music. There's like the Gandharvas are singing, apsaras are dancing, and so much of pleasure there that we forget. Actually, too much of material opulences and too much of happiness in life, it's actually bad for devotional life. You all agree, no? When there is some problems, it's the people who come to devotional service more. Artho, Arthartho, Jnani, Jitya. So the distressed people are the one who comes. And when we are having everything in life, then who will take to devotional service? So actually, negative things in life is also good. It's a blessing in disguise by the Lord, as Kunti Maharani's praise. Vipata Shantu Tatshashvat Tatra Tatra Jagat Guru Bhavada Darshanam Yetsyat Apunar Bhava Darshanam. Oh Krishna, give me more miseries so that I can take your darshan again and again and again. So that's right. So the one reason Krishna says is this, and this is another important sloka. Matra sparshasta kaunteya shitoshna sukha dukkada agama paino anitya stamti shasabharata. O son of Kunti, the non-permanent appearance of happiness and distress and their disappearance in due course are like appearance and disappearance of winter and summer season. They arise from sense perception, O son of Bharata, and one must learn to tolerate them without being disturbed. Okay, so here he says happiness and distress are like two side of the same coin. It keeps coming, so you should tolerate them without being disturbed. So Prabhupada mentions the two things here. Taking bath in cold winter season and cooking in a hot summer. Can someone explain the analogy? Yes, Jyoti Lakshmi Mataji. Yes, Mataji. Yes, Mataji. I can't hear you.
Well, now, Mataji.
Now fine. Yes.
Yeah, Prabhupada says that we have to tolerate heat and cold both, because in the hot summer it is very hot, yet the woman of the house, she goes to the kitchen to cook, and in the winter it is so cold, yet we have to take bath in the holy rivers, Mataji.
Okay, so that means he says that even in summer it's very hot, still the Matajis go and cook, right, in the kitchen, and in winter, even if it's so cold, they take bath in the holy river. So there once what happened, Prabhupada actually went for what is it called, Kumbh Mela. Okay, that happens in Allahabad actually. So he was in Kumbh Mela, and he said that it was early morning, it was little cold that time, and Prabhupada was 70 plus, and his disciples were all 19, 20 years young boys, and they were like they're foreigners and they're not used to take bath in this river, like so cold and all. So they thought, okay, today we'll just skip, or we'll have hot water bath. And Prabhupada came to know this, and Prabhupada in front of them, he just jumped into the river and took bath at the age of 70 plus. And Prabhupada's like, if I can take bath, you can also take bath. So Prabhupada showed by example. There's not everyone who practice what they preach. No? There are people who preach but don't practice. There are people who practice, doesn't preach. But Prabhupada was someone who practiced and preached the mission. So yes, so this is the one thing he says, that even though it's summer, definitely you have to cook, because that's the duty. So here Krishna says that Arjuna, even though there are problems, happiness and distress, you have to fight. We see here, you can see, this is the example here. And similarly, to fight is the religious principle of Kshatriyas. Although one has to fight with some friend or relative, one should not deviate from his prescribed duty. So like a mother has to cook. She has to cook. Otherwise, how the family will go on, right? The children will cry for food. She has to feed husband and the whole family. So even if it's summer, she takes the risk and she goes and cook. Even if it's cold, they take bath before doing devotional services, especially during Kartik month. It's cold in Vrindavan, and you can see so many devotees going to Yamuna and taking bath. You should all go to Vrindavan during Kartik month. It's so special. It's so crowded there, but very special to be in Kartik month in Vrindavan. So hope one day Krishna will let us go. Radharani will let us go. So yes, so even though Arjuna, have these problems like facing friends and everything, Krishna says this. Okay, why Arjuna has been addressed as Kaunteya and Bharata? Matra sparshasta Kaunteya, Shitoshna Sugadukkada Agama Paino Anitya Stamsti Dikshasa Bharata. Yes, Akshay Prabhu. What are the two reasons? You know it, Prabhu?
Kaunteya is son of Kunti.
Very good. Yes. So that's from the mother's side. Okay. And Bharata is?
Bharata is, I think, king.
Yeah, from the father's side. Okay. Something like, yes. So he is addressing both Kaunteya and Bharata. So that the two things he's referring Arjuna from the mother's side relation and also from the father's side as Bharata. Okay. So we saw those slokas. Avinashi tu tadvidhi yena sarvam itam tatam vinasham avyayasyasya nakaschit kartum arhati. Yeah, relation to the mother side and heritage from father side, both the sides. Yes, so that's why Kaunteya and Bharata has been used here. That which pervades the entire body, you should know to be indestructible. No one is able to destroy that imperishable soul. So how do you know the presence of soul? What is the symptom of presence of soul? Can someone explain? Same people, same devotees are answering. Can I have some new raised hands? Yeah, Sharmila Mataji got it right. Yes, Madhu Mataji.
Consciousness, Mataji.
Very good. Consciousness. So about consciousness, we are all so confused about that term actually. So what consciousness is and the different types of consciousness. Anybody knows the different types of consciousness? The levels of consciousness, no? Brahma Pucham Pradishta, it's called. Yes, Sunita Mataji, what are they?
Subconscious, conscious, and another one is there.
No, there's 5 types actually. Yeah, that is one thing. There's one more. Santosh Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Dandot Pranam to all. Annamaya, Pranamaya, Jnanamaya, Vijnanamaya, and Anandamaya.
Yeah, very nice. Yes. So these are the 5 types of consciousness. Okay. Annamaya, Pranamaya, Jnanamaya, Vijnanamaya, and last is Anandamaya. So Annamaya means like a baby's consciousness. What is a baby trying to do? Put everything in his mouth. He is not conscious of anything else. He just wants to eat. Even if it's a cockroach in the floor, he'll just take it and grab and put in the mouth. Like an Annamaya kosha. The consciousness is not developed. Like even you can see in that same consciousness in animals also. No? That's the Annamaya kosha. It's like, see, based on consciousness, there are 4 lakh human species. Now, there are 84 lakh species of life. In that, Chatur Lakshani Manava, 4 lakhs are human beings. What is this 4 lakhs human beings? We are all Homo sapiens. Based on your form, like we doesn't look like Africans or the Chinese people. So based on the form, there are different categories. And based on your consciousness. So this is Annamaya Kosha. Some people are like in Annamaya Kosha. They just want to live, to eat. They're living to eat. They're not eating to live. They just want to eat, try new things in the restaurants, and they could not control the tongue. You know, you've seen people like that. And so some of my friends are like that. Any new restaurants open in the city, they're like, first we have to go there and try something nice. And they're not bothered about soul part. And if I speak about that, they're like, why are you bothered about soul and the rebirth and this life? Just enjoy, you know, and be happy. So that's their concept. But that's very low consciousness level. And I hope one day they all come to Krishna consciousness. So that's Annamaya Kosha, just thinking about eating. Then you have this Pranamaya Kosha, like you feel the thinking, willing, and feeling things comes, and you feel you're living. Then you have this, that's a life symptom is there. Then is the Jnanamaya, the thinking, willing, feeling, and comes, the mind start working. Then Vijnanamaya, you start understanding the aspect of soul, what is matter, what is spirit. And Anandamaya is, once we are spirit, soul, and part and parcel of Lord, we'll start doing devotional service. Anandamayo Abhyasad, that's what we are, like Brahma Bhuta Prasannatma, that happiness stage. That's called Anandamaya. So this is consciousness, okay? The presence of consciousness. So what is spread all over the body? That's called consciousness. And the symptom of the soul's presence is perceived through the individual consciousness. So Prabhupada says, in this consciousness, we have to include Krishna. That's what Krishna consciousness. So what is the size of the soul? Keshagra Shada Bhagasya means when the upper part of the tip of the hair is divided to like hundreds parts. Again, it is divided to hundreds. That is 1,000 parts if it is there. 1 by of that. Keshagra Shada. Shada means 1 by 100, no? 100 parts. And again, it is divided to 100 parts. That is the size of the spirit soul. So this, there are 5 kinds of air in us. Prana, Apana, Vyana, Samana, and Udhana. So that is actually situated in the heart. That's where the soul is situated. Where is the soul situated in a plant's body? Does anyone know? So we say even plants have soul, right? And we say the soul is situated in the heart. But for human beings and animals, but some animals, amoeba and all, doesn't have a heart. And plants doesn't have a heart. So where is the soul situated in them? Madhuri Mataji?
Roots, Mataji.
No, that's a nice guess, but yes, Gurunath Prabhu.
Seeds, Mataji.
Seeds? No. Yes, Reddy Prabhu.
I think it is the leaves, Mataji.
No. Any other parts left? Manushi Mataji?
In the branches, Mataji, because that is where the consciousness or whatever you call it is running through.
No.
Life is running.
Okay. Summa Mataji? Who else raised? Adish?
Plant or fruit, Mataji?
No.
Hare Krishna, Mataji, the stem.
I got all parts of the tree now. No. Okay. Any idea? Seedling base between the plant and the root. Good guess. Now, actually, So these air, okay, these 5 types of air is present in all of us, all the living entities, even in the plant. Wherever these 5 airs are combined together, or wherever it is situated, that part the soul resides. It can be in the branch. The air can move. The air doesn't stay in one place. So this prana, apana, vyana, samana, and udhana, the 5 kinds of air, it's present in every one of our body. In human beings and for us, it's in the heart. These vayus are in the heart, in the air. So the soul is in the heart. For the tree or a plant, these airs can circulate anywhere. Either these 4 or 5 airs can go in the leaf, or it can be in the fruit. It can be. So wherever these 5 airs are situated in the plant, that part, the soul is there in that particular plant. Okay. So that's what is explained. Okay, so this is where the soul is present in a case of a plant. Okay, now in case of an earthworm, when you plant do some gardening thing, accidentally you cut an earthworm. What will happen? It will become 2, and both will act as different individual entity. Or even this earthworm will move, this also moves. How? I asked so crazy questions now. These were the doubts which I had when I came to Krishna consciousness, and all my seniors will run when they see me, because I'll ask all funny questions and they'll be like, they'll start thinking, and finally I got an answer. Did you ever think of it when, especially in case of rose plant, or in a some other plant where stem vegetation is done, where they cut the stem? Yes, the cell. Mataji, can you explain? Yes, Reddy Prabhu.
Mataji, I also have similar doubt actually. In the case of conjoined twins, who have probably 2 heads or something, where does it reside? They may be sharing only one body.
Yeah. 5 kinds of air keeps moving all over the body. Yes, Sonia Mataji, that's true. The 5 kinds of air is there, and that's where the soul is there. My question is, you cut the earthworm, as Reddy Prabhu said, there's a conjoined twin, there's one body and 2 people or 2 heads or something. And then, yes, Madhuri Mataji.
Mataji, female and male earthworm, they are situated in one, like earthworm is an animal where
okay,
both the
so you mean while cutting it becomes 2 and then both can act as different individual thing. How is it possible? Okay, female, male. What if the earthworm is cut into 3 parts? Then what will happen? 2 parts, fine, male and female, as you say. But okay, to make it very clear, yeah, Akshay Prabhu.
Mataji, one doubt, Mataji, this is not regarding the soul. The person is like has 2 types of personality, inside and outside. What do you say about that, Mataji?
Personality is nothing to do with the soul, but yes, it is with the mind intelligence and false ego. That's coming the subtle part. So definitely the individuality, like outside we show, that's just might be just for social communication we do it, but inside, yes, we are what we are at home actually. So that's like wearing a mask. But then we should not have that duplicity. So one of the weeds of devotional service is duplicity, kutinati. Like we should not be like having double characters. But that is not to be done with the soul, Prabhu. But this is what I'm asking is about the earthworm. See, how many soul is there in one body? That you say first. How many soul is there in one body? Explain, Ajabadaji.
2, Mataji.
2?
Yes, ma'am. Individual soul and supreme soul.
Oh, like that. Oh yeah, super soul and individual soul. Now I'm asking, how many individual souls are there in one body? Is Reddy Prabhu?
Mataji,
there's only one.
Only one.
Only one?
Only one, but it spreads the whole body.
Only one, and is spread in that consciousness is spread in the whole body. Then how is our different cells functioning? How is the mitosis, meiosis happening? How is our growth happening in a child's body? How is the division happening? In every cell, Krishna says, Anda andarastha paramanu che andarastha. Every atom, Krishna is there. How is the atom grow? How is the multiplication happening in our body? If there is growth, is a sign of the soul. If there is no soul, a dead person cannot grow. A dead boy, a dead child cannot grow. But some child is growing. That means in every 7 years, it said our whole cells and atoms keeps changing in the body, right? So if there is only one soul, then how is the whole system working? No, the concept is, you should understand, it's spread throughout the body. The consciousness is spread throughout the body, Mataji. Okay, now let me make it clear. Now, actually in one body, there are millions of souls, millions, but there's only one soul who's conscious. There's only one soul who dominates. That is what we are. What about the other souls? They are in a subconscious stage. They are not active. Okay, in the sense, in different parts of our body, like when there is a cancer cells, they multiply so fast that cancer cells, they have to cut the cancerous part and keep. Why? Because it's multiplying so fast. How is the multiplication happening? There has to be life in it, right? There is a cell. So similarly, in an earthworm's body, there are so many souls. How much have I cut? So many earthworms can come from it. So that means there is multiple souls. The whole body is like a universe of souls. But there's only one soul which is conscious of this particular body, or one soul which is dominative. In case of conjoined twins, Prabhu, definitely there are 2 souls. And because of some karma, they are into that body. They're suffering together. They're born together. They are suffering. So definitely there are 2 souls. If there is conjoined twins also, there is 2 souls. Identical twins also, there are 2 souls. So there is the 2 souls dominating. But in a particular body, there are millions of souls. Am I clear?
Mataji, yes, you said there is only one dominating soul. Although there may be a lot of souls within the body.
Yes.
Similarly, in the case of earthworm also, there will be only one dominating soul, right?
Yes.
If it is cut into pieces, it should die.
Yes.
Because that soul, dominating soul, is not able to circulate all over the body.
Yes, but for them, it's not, no. Even if actually the part is cut, that particular part of the body will have another soul which is dominating. For them. For a human beings, it's not possible. We cut our hand, it won't get grown again to another human form, right? But for an earthworm, for amoeba and all, the body is particularly made in such a way that they can multiply and divide so fast, and that particular soul can become dominant in their body, okay, in that particular part. So this is the thing that we should understand, that there is one soul which is dominating and which is conscious of this particular body. But for an earthworm, the conscious level is so low, Prabhu. Not like us. Human beings, consciousness is in a higher level. But for an animal and a plant, it is of a lower level, right? So there is sin. While cutting and plant also, there is a sin, right? All of you agree? So what is the difference killing an animal and killing a plant? Both are sinful then. What is the difference? An animal soul and a plant soul. When you make sambar, there's a lot of vegetables in it. Yes, Sunita Mataji, let's give her a chance. Yes.
In plants, Mataji, the consciousness will not be developed, Mataji.
So?
It's in Bhagavad Gita what to eat and what not to eat as per Krishna's is Mataji.
Yes, but
vegetables and all.
Yes, but even if there is a low consciousness, there is a soul, na? Yeah, but Sharmila Mataji.
Sentiment won't be there, na Mataji. Pain won't be there.
Pain won't be there. That's a nice reason. Animals, they cry when they have been killed, definitely. So the pain is less there. The consciousness is little developed than in a plant, and plant it's less consciousness. That's true. But still, when you cut up vegetable, it is sinful, na Mataji? How do you overcome that? Sharmila Mataji, you can unmute and say. I mean, you have typed the right answer. Yes, Sharmila Mataji. Oh, sorry, can you unmute?
Hare Krishna, like Krishna has said, we can offer patram to him. So plants can be offered to him and eaten as prasadam. So it is like karma-free food. Whatever.
Very good. So that's a karma-free food. That's the right answer. So when we offer the vegetables, I mean, even though cutting the vegetables is a sin, in the sense there is soul in it, and there is a low consciousness level, less karma it is than killing an animal. But if you offer to Krishna, if you offer to Krishna, then the soul become karma free. It is transcendental. That's why we call prasada is transcendental. When you offer to Krishna, he takes that karma back, and then he also have prescribed in Bhagavad Gita, as someone said, yes, patram pushpam phalam toyam. This have been recommended by Krishna. And jiva jivasya jivanam. One body has to depend on another body for sustenance. What about Garuda? You know, Garuda, the carrier of Lord Vishnu, what does Garuda eat? He's in a fish, in a bird form. So he eats fish. So does that mean Garuda is sinful, that he's eating fish? No. With that particular body, he's supposed to eat fish for his sustenance or maintenance. So it is allowed in the Shastra, jiva jivasya jivanam. But we should offer to Krishna and then consume. Okay, in a particular, especially human form. For an animal, there is no sin incurred. There's no karma binding an animal. For a human being, there is karma binding. So we should know about the soul part, and we should also know that yes, Lord is there as Paramatma in us, and it's mainly karma that's binding that particular soul to be there. And here Krishna says about the properties of the soul in the next few slokas. Na jayate mriyate va kadashin nayam bhutva pavita va na bhuya ajo nitya shashvatoyam purano nahanyate hanyamane sharire. So when you read Bhagavad Gita and all, there's some different meters. 10, 8, and 12 and all. This is called Anushtup Chandas for Sanskrit. Like some slokas have to be dragged and read. Some has to be read very slow. So even this sloka is very important. But you should know the soul, there is neither birth nor death at any time. He's unborn. Aja. Aja means unborn. He's eternal. Nityam and Shashvata, he's ever existing. That's a Satchidananda features, eternal, full of knowledge and bliss. So like Krishna, in quality, we are also Satchidananda form. We are also eternal or unborn and ever existing, right? The soul. So definitely, because of some material desires, and because of that we have been reborn again and again and again, and we suffer because of our karma. But then for the soul there is neither birth nor death at any time. When Parikshit Maharaj was instructed by Shukadeva Goswami the Bhagavatam for 7 days, and he was cursed to be bitten by a snake, right? So what did he say at the end of the 7 days Bhagavatam Saptah? Shukadeva Goswami asked, now are you scared of your death? And so what did Parikshit Maharaj reply? Anybody knows? What did Parikshit Maharaj say to Shukadeva Goswami? The whole Bhagavatam was spoken. How did he get cursed? Was first of all, you know, shall start reading Bhagavatam. The first kind of Srimad Bhagavatam explains before taking initiation, the qualification is you should finish reading the first kind of Srimad Bhagavatam. Yes, Manoshi Mataji.
Mataji, he was a realized soul, but he was also a king and a very powerful king, and he liked hunting, and he was out for a long day, and he was very tired, and he reached Rishi's ashram, and he needed water. So he asked the Rishi, who was in deep meditation, for water, but the Rishi was beyond his material awareness, and he was in a deep spiritual awareness and meditation, so he didn't hear him. But the king, because of his tiredness, he was so upset that he picked up a dead snake that was lying on the ground and threw it on the neck of the Rishi, thinking that he will understand whom he has offended. But then the Rishi's son came back and he saw this dead snake on his father's neck, and he said, "Who did this?" And the Rishi then woke up, of course, and he said, others told the son that the king had come and he did it, and the boy immediately cursed the king that within 7 days he will be. But the father said that you have not done the right thing, because he was tired and I did not hear him, and therefore. But the thing was that once a curse is uttered, then it cannot be taken back, and by a Brahman.
And that's also Krishna's plan, no? So that Bhagavatam can be spoken. So yes, who's that Rishi? Shamika Rishi. And his son is Shringi, who cursed. Actually, it is said when that Brahmana boy, Shringi, cursed Parikshit Maharaj, that's when Kali entered into the Brahmana's life, into our human form, Kali. So whoever is preparing for Diksha, I think many of you have taken shelter and going for initiation, start reading the first kind of Srimad Bhagavatam. Okay, you have to finish it. I'm getting an urgent call. 1 second. Yeah, okay. So it is okay. One important thing which I missed is what happens during heart transplantation? What happens to the soul? I think I've discussed once. Reddy Prabhu was in my level 3, so he knows. Wait, Reddy Prabhu, let's see others, let others know, and then you explain, okay? What happens during heart transplantation? When heart is taken out, okay, and they keep another heart. So once someone have a brain death or someone dies, then the heart is taken. You've heard recently one ambulance person, the driver, he drove very fast, and from Bangalore, somewhere he reached, and he could give that some organ. So this heart is taken from a person who is brain dead or dead, and then it's come and getting transplanted to another person's body. So we say the soul is situated in the heart. Now, what happens during heart transplantation? Is it the soul getting mixed, or is it this person's soul goes, and what's happening? Did you think about it? If anyone have read The Science of Self-Realization, SSR, there is a conversation between Srila Prabhupada and a heart surgeon. So there Prabhupada explains. No idea, Sharmila Mataji, give a try. No?
Hare Krishna, it's in the region of the heart, no? Not exactly in the heart, region of the heart.
Still what happens during heart transplantation, Mataji? You're taking this deceased heart and putting a new heart. So that means even if it's in the region of the heart, you think the soul is coming out, and then, so what's happening? Once the soul comes out, you're dead, no?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So let's hear from Reddy Prabhu. Yes, Prabhu. What's happening there?
As Hare Krishna Mataji. As I understand, I think you mentioned that during heart transplantation, soul actually comes out of the heart, and it will be observing actually what's happening around.
How the body comes out of the body? I didn't mention it's out of the body, but it's somewhere else. Yes, Sunita Mataji.
It takes temporarily, it takes its position temporarily, Mataji.
Where? Yes, you're right. Temporarily, it doesn't come out of the body, but yes, in the body itself, it remains somewhere else, right?
In the mind, Mataji?
Not exactly. Okay, and then what happens? Okay, it moves away from the heart region. It goes to somewhere else. It's actually, it is said, it's in this chakra region. It is near between the eyebrows and over this region. Okay, just for temporary it goes. After that, what happens, Sunita Mataji? Once they keep the new heart, then
it again
it comes back.
It comes back.
It comes back. So the example Prabhupada gives is, for example, this is a chair. So as Sharmila Mataji says, the heart, the soul is in the area of that heart, like somewhere in that region. So similarly, I'm sitting in this region of this chair. Okay, I'm sitting in this chair. My chair is broken. Something is wrong with the chair, or some leg is broken, or something is shaking. So a carpenter comes, for example. So this chair is like the heart, and the carpenter is the surgeon. Now, what happens? I have to get up now, then only he can repair this chair. So similarly, the soul moves from that heart region, somewhere in the chakra region. It is said over this part, in the middle part. It just temporarily it moves. Like temporarily, I get up and stay and go sit somewhere else, so that the chair can be repaired. And the carpenter repairs the chair, or the surgeon puts another heart there. It's just an organ, just a material organ. And then once it's done, the soul comes back, as I come back and sit in my original chair back. So that's temporarily, the soul shifts from that place, and then the new heart is transplanted. The heart of the person who's been transplanted, it's already, the soul is left. That we are sure, right? The soul is left. But what about this soul? This soul moves from that place for temporary, so for time being, and then again comes back and sit in the heart. So heart is just a sitting place of the soul. Okay, just a sitting place, like a chair. So it's just a sitting place. So that's what happens during heart transplantation. So once we know this concept, then we are clear what's happening during this. Okay, so Prabhupada here mentions about the 6 kind of transformation the body undergoes. Now, what are they? I mean, when somebody is born, what are the 6 types of transformation? This can come as a short question. What are the 6 types of transformation the body can undergo? Yes, Akshay Prabhu.
From baby to like young adult, teenage adult, and old age.
Okay, but what the stages Prabhupada mentions? Yes, that is what we are telling about the different age group. But yes, Sunita Mataji.
It takes birth, Mataji, and then it means for some time, and then again it grows, and then it produces, and then again it goes to the old age, and then dies, Mataji.
Okay, so yes, so first is growth, then it stays for some time, then it stays for some time, then first it's born from the mother's womb, it stays for some time, it grows, yes, and then it reproduces, then it declines or dwindles, old age, and there is finally death. So these are the 6 kind of transformation the body undergoes. Okay, so the Prabhupada gives an example of sun and the clouds. No, when you say about the Lord, why are we not able to see the sun during a cloudy day? And what is the reason why the clouds have come? He gives a nice analogy in that puppet. Can you read? Go towards the end of that puppet. You can see about cloud and sun. Clouds cover the sun. Does the clouds cover the sun? Put in the chat, yes or no. That's what I want to know. If you listen to Srila Prabhupada's lecture, you will get all these answers. I didn't get it from anyone. I got it from Prabhupada's lecture. Temporarily, Sunita Mataji says temporarily the sun is covered by the clouds. Sharmila Mataji says no. Then what else is covering Sharmila Mataji? If it is the sun is not covered by the clouds, then why are we not able to see the sun?
Like, I thought it's because of our imperfect senses. You're feeling that?
not completely right, but yes, somewhere right, in the sense the Prabhupada says it's not, the sun cannot be covered by the clouds. Sun is so huge, it cannot be covered by the clouds. It's our vision being covered. As Mother said, yes, we have defective senses. The vision or the eyesight has been covered by the clouds temporarily. And how is the clouds? Similarly, we're not able to perceive the soul or super soul because we've been covered by Maya, or illusion is covering us. So we're not able to see Krishna. And then who makes these clouds? How is the clouds formed? By the sun only. The sun evaporates the water from the ocean or a river or some water area, and then this evaporated water that forms clouds. So if the sun wants, the sun can disseminate that clouds. Similarly, if Krishna wants to reveal to us, only Krishna has to think. We can't force Krishna. Prabhupada says Krishna is not your order carrier, a servant. Hey Krishna, come in front of me, I want to see you. No, he's not your order supplier. Actually, we are his servants. We can request Krishna, Krishna, I want to see you. But then we have to sincerely work in such a way that Krishna sees you. So here Prabhupada says about consciousness. The soul is, there is consciousness there, but the sun is covering our vision. So similarly, we can understand the presence of soul when the level of Maya takes away. And Anu Atma and Vibhu Atma, the two terms, Anu Atma is us, the Jivatma, and Vibhu, the greatest one, is the super soul. Okay, Anu and Vibhu. And so Krishna defeats Arjuna's argument of compassion by saying that we are not the spirit, so we are not this body, we are spirit soul. Na jayate mriyate va kadashin. Na jayate mriyate va kadashin. Nayam bhutva pavitavana bhuya. Ajo nityat shashvatoyam purano. Nahanyate hanyamane sharire. So for the soul, there's neither birth nor death at any time. Did I tell this example right? We don't have to save the cloth, we have to save the person. Similarly, we don't have to save the body, which is an outside garment, right? Vasamsa jirnani yada vihaya. It will come in next slokas, like how we change garments. That's what the body gets changed. So we don't have to save the body, we have to save the spirit soul. So here Krishna is defeating Arjuna's argument of compassion. Arjuna is compassionate of their body, not the soul. And so the Lord says, for the soul, there is neither birth nor death at any time. And sometimes a murderer is condemned to death by a high court judge. What is, so it is per law, like you kill somebody, you will be hanged to death. Now, for recently, we had this gang rape case and all that, and all the boys, like some group of boys, were hanged to death. Is it right from the government part or not? And according to karma, according to this thing, philosophically or spiritually wise, how is it good for them? Yes, Adish Prabhu. Why is that law come that if you murder someone, and if you're so, in that, finally she died, that girl, but then they all were hanged to death. So according to karma, according to spiritual life, is it good or bad, and what happens for a murderer? Yes, Adish Prabhu, Suma Mataji, and you unmute.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Mataji, if they follow the laws of the government, that's like we have, there is no other way.
Audio now unmuted.
So they are benefited, Mataji.
How? That's my question. How they are benefited? What is the positive thing?
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yes, Prabhu.
Yes, so when the murderer is killed, the karma gets the karma doesn't come, like, so he doesn't have to suffer more in the hell or any other place, like.
Yeah, even in the next Janma. Yes, that's the right answer. So once, see, as Mataji said, that's a law. Like, you are not given any right to take anyone's life, right? We can't do it. So if you kill someone, next life, we give them a chance to be killed by them. Like somebody killed someone, the next Janma, we will be killed by that person. That is what it is said. So that's a karma coming. So by giving a death sentence to that person, you are actually saving his karma, or you're saving his reactions, that next life he doesn't have to suffer. So one way, here it is said, a murderer should be condemned to death so that in his next life, he will not have to suffer for the great sin he has committed. Therefore, the king's punishment of hanging a murderer, or the high court judge hanging a murderer, is actually beneficial. Similarly, when Krishna orders fighting, it must be concluded that violence is for the supreme justice, and thus Arjuna should follow the instructions. So it is actually for good. because all of them will get Sayuja Mukti, no? Otherwise, they'll never get Mukti. So in one way, it's good, and they'll become pious after that. So next Janma, they don't have to suffer. So hanging to death, it's actually by the law, it is done, but according to karma, or when according to the spiritual path also, it is good, because next life you don't have to suffer. So somebody who killed someone and escaped the hands of law. Now there are so many people, the innocent people get trapped, and the real villain escapes. We know that in you're politically strong and you are like big personalities, they escape law, like sometimes, not in every case, but some case it do happens. So next Janma, they'll definitely suffer. Yes, Sonia Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Mataji,
Yes.
my question is like you said hanging to death doesn't attract karma in next birth. So if we forgive that person, then does that attract karma? Like
Still, no, forgiving, if it is not a murder, if it is some other sin, forgiving is from your part. Yes, you're doing it the right thing, forgiving, because Ashwatthama. So Ashwatthama killed the 5 sons of Draupadi, right? And then what happened when Arjuna caught hold of Ashwatthama? What did Draupadi say? Just leave him, let him let him go. But the karma does definitely bind him. Karma will definitely bind, and Krishna won't keep quiet. I mean, the material nature won't keep. You don't have any right to take another life, no, Mataji. So the karma will definitely happen. Forgiving is according to from our side, yes. The opposite side, even though they forgive, but the law is law. I mean, they just because you forgive, the law doesn't listen to you. I mean, they give the punishment. Similarly, the material nature gives the punishment for whatever it's been done. But yes, one thing is there, Mataji. They can take to devotional service. If they take to akarma, that is the same. It is called the cantonment, the atonement, no? Atonement of prayashchitta. The best prayashchitta is, Prabhupada says, to take up to devotional service, because then, even though the reaction comes, but it will be very less. You'll be saved from so many reactions of some past karma by doing akarma. Yes, Madhuri Mataji.
Mataji, I have during our Bhakti Vriksha reading sessions, we had a question. So same way, the judge will order death sentence, okay, to the orderer, and then the hangsman will hang that person, na, Mataji. So then, in that case, the hangsman, like what
He's doing his duty. He's doing his duty, actually. He's doing his duty. For a judge and the hangsman, they doesn't have karma. They are aloof. It's given in some part of Bhagavad Gita where Prabhupada mentions the High Court judge is aloof, like how Krishna is aloof of your karma. He's just doing his duty. How Arjuna is not bounded by karma now, no? Because he's carrying out the orders of Krishna. So similarly, if someone is suppose I am forgiving someone, then that will bind me or not. No. If you forgive, that is actually good, no? Because you are let that person go. And it is said that we should forget 2 things. We should forget what others have hurted us, or if someone have done something bad to us, we should forget it, and we should forget what good things we did for others. Now, these 2 things we're supposed to forget, actually. But that karma is karma. So whatever we have done, every action has equal and opposite reaction. But we take to akarma when you take devotional service. When you circumambulate Tulsi Maharani, what is the sloka we sing? Anybody knows? When you circumambulate Tulsi Maharani, we chant one mantra, or after the Tulsi Arati. Yes, Gurunath Prabhu.
Yani kani chapa pani pradakshina
Brahmahatya
tani cha tani pranashanti pradakshina pade.
Yes. So what's the meaning, Prabhu? Very nice. Yes. What's the meaning?
Even if you kill Brahmana, you don't have seen.
Yes. So in every step, pade, every step you keep Brahmahatya dikani cha. Even the sin of killing a Brahmana is taken care of. So that's why I said, doing devotional service, definitely karma will come. But if you're supposed to suffer so much, Krishna will make it suffer so little. Yes, nice question, Sharmila Mataji. What about a butcher? That's why it is said, when you're going to take initiation, they ask your profession. So there's a nice comedy what happened. So there was a person who was having this shoe shop. He sells all these shoes. So when Maharaj was asking, do you sell leather shoes? I mean, it's been taken from the animal skin, and they make. And he was doing, and he's like, you stop it. I mean, then only you'll get diksha. And yes, if it is said 2 occupations, the butcher occupation and the fish selling occupation and all that, and what about an alcohol beverage shop? Someone is, there's a big queue. You won't see that big queue anywhere else. In a alcoholic shop, there'll be a big queue, and you are supplying alcohol to them, or you are giving tobacco or whatever, all these smoking things and cigarettes, even that is sinful. So it is said that such people have to change their occupation before taking diksha or initiation, because that is sinful. So yes, Mataji, that's sinful. And it is not allowed in ISKCON actually. If Prabhupada says you should change the occupation, or you should stop it. And because giving initiation to such people is like doing guru aparadh, and we can't, because one way they are trying to chant holy name, and with the other hand they are butchering the animals, and that means they didn't understand the philosophy of Bhagavad Gita. So sin incurs them. Okay. So here, Vasamsi Jirnani, yeah, this is the sloka which I was saying. Vasamsi Jirnani yada vihaya navani girhnadi naroparani tata sharirani vihaya jirnani anyani samyadi navani dehi. Oh, I didn't say the answer, na? For Parikshit Maharaj, I went somewhere. So when Parikshit Maharaj was about to finish the 7 days of Bhagavatam, and Shukadeva Goswami asked, are you scared of death? Parikshit Maharaj said, I was never born to be dead. In the sense, he understood the concept of soul, that soul is eternal, he's unborn. So he says he was not fearful of death anymore. So he was happy to go back to Krishna, and he got delivered. So here it is said, as a person put new garments, giving up old ones, the soul similarly accepts new material bodies, giving up old and useless ones. So the body is also like a dress, which means this dress is temporarily given to us by Krishna. I mean, according to our karma, we couldn't select our body. We couldn't select how we look. We couldn't select our parents. It's all karma. We are forced by material nature. We are pushed into mother's womb, and we are pushed out to be born in this material nature based on our karma, right? Purva janma kritam pabam vyadi rupena chaite. Whatever karma, purva janma kritam pabam, whatever sin we have done in our previous life, we take rebirth and again and again. What is the proof that we all were sinful in our previous janma? We know we all were sinful. Prabhupada says all of us are sinful. What is the proof? Why do you say that we are all sinful? You can guess. It's Gunashri Mataji.
Because we are in this material world, Mataji.
Yeah, that's a simple answer. Yeah, we are in this material world. If we were not simple, Prabhupada says we all would be in the spiritual world with Krishna. We would have got moksha. So each one of us, we might say in this life, I never did any sin. Definitely might be right. But what about your previous janma? So we have done some sin. That's why we got a material body. So definitely. So, but based on karma, we got it. But we are so fortunate, very, very fortunate that in this janma, we got Krishna consciousness, we got Srila Prabhupada, we got Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we have this ISKCON with us, or these Shastras, and we are able to chant the holy name of Lord. So that our karma is getting over, and slowly we are going to the path of liberation, right? The doors of liberations are open. So definitely, we should be very grateful to Srila Prabhupada for giving us this chance in human form of life. So we have done some Ajnata Sukriti. Some Ajnata Sukriti means unknowingly we have done some Sukriti to get this Krishna consciousness. So yes, as new garments you taken, similarly the soul is taken in different bodies. So there is an example of air carrying the aromas. So their air will go in different places. It can come through the kitchen, it takes nice smell. It comes through the garden, again nice smell. It comes through the garbage area, bad smell. Does the air really have smell? No, it doesn't have any aroma. But it takes one smell, gives it. Takes another smell, gives it. Similarly, the body, the soul accepts one body, gives it. Takes another body, gives it, based on your karma, based on your desires, unfulfilled desire, right? Okay. So transference of atomic individual soul to another body is possible by the grace of super soul. The super soul has to sanction. Super soul fulfill the desire of the soul. So desire is the one which takes us take rebirth again and again. So as a one friend, fulfill the desire of another. And forgetfulness of our relationship with Krishna is the cause of changing the position from one tree to another, one body to another. Because we are forgetful of Krishna, we take birth again and again. So what is the example? You know this analogy, two friendly birds sitting on the same tree. You've seen a picture also. So what are the two birds and what are they doing? Yes, Mataji.
Mataji is the soul and the super soul.
Yeah.
The soul is consuming the fruit.
Yes. So what is it compared to? The fruit is compared to what?
Just observing.
Yeah, the fruit is compared to what?
Compared to karma.
Karma, yes.
Senses and all the attractions of the world.
Yes, yes. So there are two birds sitting on the same tree. Why we say so? Because both are in the heart, right? The soul and super soul is in the heart, and it's like two birds sitting on the same tree. One is busy watching, and the other one is busy eating the fruit. Yes, as Jyoti Lakshmi Mataji says, the soul, super soul is watching when the soul will turn to him. So when the moment he turns, that's when our spiritual journey begins. And we should know that both soul and super soul has been compared to the two birds. We are almost done. Nainam chindanti shastrani, nainam dahati pavaka, nachainam kledyantyapo, nashoshayati maruta. Right? So here's the properties of the soul. A soul can never be cut to pieces. Now Arjuna is worried with his Gandiva, he's going to kill all his cousins. But here Krishna says it cannot be cut to pieces by any weapon, nor burned by fire. Those who people do suicide by burning themselves up, jump into a fire and all that, they should understand that only the body is getting destroyed, right? The soul cannot be burned by fire, nor moistened by water, nor withered by wind. So these are the properties of the soul. The soul cannot be cut into by any weapon. So again, Krishna is refuting Arjuna's cause of lamentation, right? Again, this is the last sloka of this today's session. Achetyo ayam adhya adyo ayam akledyo ashoshya evacha nitya sarvagatash stanor achalo ayam sanadana. This individual soul is unbreakable, insoluble, and can neither be burnt nor dried. He's everlasting, present everywhere, unchangeable, immovable, and eternally the same. Okay, so the living entities in the sun planet. Do you think there are living entities in other planets? Why? Do you think there's a living entity only in this planet, or is there life in other planets? Yes, Ganeshan Prabhu.
Yes, Mataji, there are living entities in other planets. They will have the bodies according to that situation. And
yes. So what about living entity in the sun planet?
Yeah,
how will be, now how will their body be?
Their bodies will be so that it can withstand that heat and temperature.
Yeah.
And,
yes. So that means their body will be made up of fire. That's what Prabhupada says. If you have to go to the sun planet, your body should be made up of fire in order to tolerate that heat. Our body is made up of earth, water, fire, air, ether. So did actually we go land in the moon? Did actually we land in the moon? Is ready, Prabhu?
No, Mataji, we have not landed. Actually, there is a lot of controversy about Americans landing on the moon.
Yeah. Why do you think that on a spiritual path, a spiritual way, how do you think that we didn't land in the moon?
Because that is also a destination, basically, based on our karma, we can.
Yes, yes. So moon planet is also a heavenly planet, and based on pious deeds only we can go, and there is life there. And with this body made up of earth, water, fire, air, ether, we are supposed to live only in the earth planet. We can't go to higher planets with this body, as we can't go to the sun planet unless your body is made up of fire. The Panchaputas, the one element of the, like if you go to the sun planet, your fire part, earth, water, fire will be more, so that you can go to the sun planet. Similarly, in moon planet, there is more. So if at all people have landed there, they didn't see any life there. They reported, right? There's no life in the moon planet. Prabhupada says, your eyes is charma chakshus. There are different types of eyes. Charma chakshus, shastra chakshus, divine eyes, and prema chakshus. So we have charma chakshus. It's just material defective senses. And people in the moon planet, their body is made up of in some other way, which our blunt eyes cannot see, cannot perceive. And Prabhupada says, if at all they have landed in the moon planet, why did they come down? I mean, in the moon planet, the life span is 10,000 years. And by the time they come back, all of us would have dead here. Nobody will be there to welcome them back. So it's a nice conversation with Srila Prabhupada. Prabhupada says that, and many were angry at Prabhupada. Why are you saying this? And Prabhupada says, just waste of money and time. Why are you planning to go this? And he wrote the book, Easy Journey to Other Planets. That if you want to go to other planets, you have to do particular karma, pious activities, and then go to heavenly planets. Otherwise, it's not possible to go. And Prabhupada says, I might be wrong, but Shastra is never wrong. Shastra is never wrong, right? So we should have that particular. So we'll have a short breakout room. It's almost done. So how is the violence on the battlefield of Kurukshetra different from the modern terrorism? This is the question. We'll have a short 3 minutes, 4 minutes breakout room. Just discuss and try to come back. You can refer the sloka 2.21 and 2.27. This I've taken from the Bhakti Shastri question bank. So discuss in your own words. Okay. You say that fight is happening in the Kurukshetra battlefield also, but how is it different from this modern terrorism? Okay, so can we all go to a breakout room and just come back soon? I'll close it soon. Just decide who's going to speak, and first you decide who's going to speak from the group, and then you start discussing so that that person can have the notes. Okay, so just quickly, we'll come back soon. Okay, this is the question. Please do join. There are some people who doesn't join the breakout room. Please do join. Otherwise, I have to manually move you. Hare Krishna. Okay, Hare Krishna. So, what about the first group? Can someone who's from first group? Okay, I'll unmute everyone. Yeah. Yes, Ganeshan Prabhu. Who's speaking?
Yeah, Maitra Mataji, would you like to present?
Just 2-3 points, Mataji. Like just give one. How is it different?
Only thing I understood was that the Battle of Kurukshetra was being carried out at the behest of Lord. He has come for the purpose of establishing dharma and defeating adharma. So it cannot be compared with a human being inflicting tyrannical violence on another set of people for his selfish reasons.
Yes.
There is no comparison, Mataji. That's all I thought.
Yes, that is a nice explanation. Ganesha Prabhu, who was from the room 1? That's Manavshi Mataji is from room 1.
Then Gunashri Mataji, then Chinnaswamy Prabhuji.
Yeah, you should, from the room, you should decide who's going to speak. Okay, that is one thing. So
the time was too short, Mataji. I don't know whether.
No, it's already.
It's
already
8:30. Couple of them went on speaking, and there was.
That's why.
I was just asking Mataji. Just.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't get time.
So very soon.
Yeah, because I thought it's already the time is like 8:30 plus, so I went on and on. Yes, so I got one from Manusha Mataji. So what is the discussion? What happened in the other rooms? Other room?
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yes.
Room number 2. I am representing room number 2.
Yes.
So here in the case of Kurukshetra war, violence is justified because it is for the right cause, establishing justice. So it is based on religious principles, and Lord Krishna was personally present there.
Yes.
So this is a justified war. It is for establishing justice. And in the case of terrorism, or in the case of war, what's happening between Russia and this thing, it is not based on humanitarian principles. There are no principles actually here.
Yes.
So it is, they are not worried about what's happening economically and other things. So the consequences are not really justified.
Okay.
Based on selfish motives.
Yeah, selfish motives and karma. Karma is binding them, right? The modern terrorism. But for Arjuna's case, there's no karma binding because he was following the instructions of Krishna. So he was in Krishna consciously doing the violence in battlefield and in the Kurukshetra. And in Kurukshetra, what is the outcome? Everybody got Sayuja Mukti because Krishna was there, personally present. And Krishna in universe, Vishwarupa showed, no, all of them were going inside his mouth. So it's actually Krishna who killed them. Krishna says, you're just an instrument, Arjuna. So it's Krishna who did that. But in modern terrorism, as you said, yes, selfish motives. And for why are you doing this terrorism? You think that that person belongs to this country, I belong to this country. Prabhupada says, if you think like that, tomorrow you will be born in, next Janma, you will be born in that country sometimes, because you're always thinking about that country. And they are seeing them as not part and parcel of Lord, or universal brotherhood is not there. The Prabhupada says about the United Nations, where the peace, it's for the peace, but their flags goes on increasing. There's all disunion among them. And the real peace formula is to understand Bhoktaram Yachadabasam Sarvaloka Mahesharam. So the modern terrorism is based on caste and creed and all this thing, that your country, my country, and all this thing based on bodily concept. And in Kurukshetra, the war happened based on the soul concept, or a spiritual way. So yes, karma binding terrorist, and the karma was not binding Arjuna. Okay, so we'll stop here. And I think this chapter needs a lot of explanations. Unless you understand this chapter 2, then rest of Bhagavad Gita is like it is very easy. The next part of Bhagavad Gita, but chapter 2 needs a lot of explanations. That's why I thought we won't go till 48 sloka. Next week we'll go till there. Okay, so I hope everything is clear. Any questions and comments? You can add to some things. Yes, as Reddy Prabhu was mentioning, the soul coming out, that is also there, called as out-of-body experience or near-death experience, where somebody who got anesthetized, general anesthesia, and the surgery is doing, But after the anesthesia, after the surgery, that person could explain what all happened, which music was played in the operation theater, and who did what, and everybody started researching, and then they came to the conclusion of out-of-body experience and near-death experience, somewhere the soul just comes out of the body for a few seconds and then goes in, or that concept is still not clear. But then even I like to know more about it. But there are people who experienced such things. No, so this is all to establish the fact that soul is present, and they can't deny. Even scientists cannot, medical science also cannot deny the existence of soul. So definitely it's there. But in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna has explained so beautifully about the soul, and acharyas like Prabhupada have taken it more. So if you are interested to know about more about the soul and part, you read Science of Self-Realization. Those who have ordered the level 1 books, that 600 package, you get Bhagavad Gita, Perfect Answer, Perfect Questions, and Science of Self-Realization, SSR. It's a devotee making book. Whoever have read SSR have become devotees, because nothing about God or Krishna there. It's just pakka philosophy about soul and Prabhupada's findings about the soul part. So you can read Science SSR, okay, if you're interested. Atma Gaveshan, no, it's called Atma Gaveshan. Okay, any questions, or can we end here? Did all of you present in the class take shelter, aspire, all that? No, nobody is. Yes, Akshay Prabhu.
Ma'am, if I want to buy the book called Bhagavatam, where can I buy?
Bhagavatam is available in ISKCON Mangaluru. I'll tell Ganeshan Prabhu to post the link. Okay. It's available in our website. You can go.
Okay.
And purchase.
Mataji, one doubt, Mataji. Which mala is suitable for me, like simple mala, tulsi mala?
Oh, mala. You can do neem mala, or tulsi mala is also okay. You can chant in it, but better to do in tulsi mala after initiation. Better start with neem mala. Okay.
Okay.
Yes, Chinnasamy Ganeshan Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Mataji, I want to impress upon our devotees to participate in the Bhakti Vriksha classes.
Okay.
If the timing doesn't suit, if they can opt for a different timing, it will be useful for all.
Okay.
The association.
So now there's no much people in your Bhakti Vriksha?
Last meeting was not attended by many. The previous meeting was okay with the 5 and 6 devotees.
Okay.
Total
there
are 11 members.
Okay. So Ganeshan Prabhu, can you solve it? Try to solve it. Might be you can put in the WhatsApp group.
Yes, ma'am.
Some people are already a part of
Mataji.
Huh?
Time or day challenge, then we can opt for a different timing based on the majority.
Yeah. Okay, so try to sort it out, Mataji or Prabhu, or if possible, they can have a separate third group if possible, or else club, and as Prabhu said, might be the timings and day you can little bit edit. You can try to change whatever is. Try to collect everyone's opinion, and then we can form. Either you can have 2 groups with 2 leaders, different timings. Okay. I leave to you. You can decide. Just I want that you should associate and you should read and come, because alone we won't read. That's sure. It's difficult to read alone. Gurunath Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Mataji. My Ashray form was not able to, because there was some technical error. I was not able to edit.
No, you take a printout and fill it up, then scan and send.
Okay, no, I will do it.
Okay. Yeah. Ganeshan Prabhu, I have already asked now. Okay, those who don't have question can leave. I think we are done here. No more questions. So all of you, I hope please fill the Aspire form or shelter and initiation forms, whichever you are. Yes, Sunita Mataji.
Mataji, Sushruta is the father of surgery, we call. In olden days, we used to do open surgery without anesthesia. But we know this is spread all over the body and we feel pain and pleasure. How was it possible, Mataji, during those days?
I really don't know. Yeah, even I heard he used to do without anesthesia, and so pain will be there. Might be it's like, see, once a finger is cut I mean, we'll have that pain. But as you cut more, actually, the tolerance of pain is so high that we won't feel any more pain. That's what it is said, that the nerve fibers, the pain carrying fibers to the brain, when they carry the pain sensation, already you have suffered the saturation of pain. Then any more pain is like numbness for you. You feel numb sometimes. So that might be the concept, or something with the nerves, or might be he's blocking the nerves somewhere. But without anesthesia, even I don't know much how it happened. And even when we see that our great grandparents, grandmothers used to deliver at home, we can't even imagine of home delivery. So I really don't know. All this is like, but then death rate was also more, Mataji. So the open surgery, or in those days, in home, when they do the delivery, either the mother will go for bleeding and she might die, or the baby dies. So the mortality rate was high. When compared to the modern science, the mortality is high at those days because of these lackage of medical facilities and anesthesia and all. But yes, still it's like a mystery and a mystery. We don't know. I really don't know how it's done. Okay. So Hare Krishna, everyone. I think we can end here. So Ganeshan Prabhu, just update me what is the issue with each of the members. If they want some other Bhakti Vriksha, and I know all of you are working and so busy with things, but try to have some kind of Bhakti Vriksha at least once in a week, so that you discuss these verses. Okay.
Yes,
and any doubt,
Mataji.
you can come back.
Yes, Mataji. There are two groups existing. One is Saturday, Sunday morning 6:15 to 7:15. The other one is on Monday and Wednesday, 7:30 p.m. If devotees who have not joined any of the group, they can please communicate to me, so that any convenient times, even if 4 or 5 devotees can join together, we can form another group also, and we can see that everybody is involved, as you say, in studying together for better understanding and advancing in Krishna consciousness. That will help, Mataji, surely.
Yeah, and one more thing I'm planning is, if you feel that Bhakti Vriksha is not entertaining or not keeping you there, so what we'll do is, in our Bhakti Vriksha, it happened that these question bank questions can be given to each one of us. Like we finished chapter 1. So chapter 1 closed book and open with questions can be taken by you. It's in your student's handbook, and you can discuss. That is a good thing. You find out answers. We used to do that because at the end of 6 chapters, you will have exam. So before that, if you find out different answers, then you whole class can discuss. Now we used to do that we used to have Bhakti Vrikshas, and each chapter they find out answers for that. And if possible, you can at least put in a Word document, or at least you can write the reference where the answers are, or you discuss with yourself. In that way, you're preparing for an exam. It's nice if we could do that. Okay, if possible.
It's like this, Mataji. Yes, and it's something a little funny, no? And if any devotee wants to advance fast in Krishna conscious, please join Bhakti Vriksha. Or else, whatever you try to do, you will always see that you are traveling at the speed of a cycle rickshaw. So this is
that's true.
So Bhakti Vriksha will certainly help, Mataji. It's not one, because one head is not equal to 10 heads, Mataji, or 5 heads.
Yes. And association is always needed. You'll start a bonding with each other, and some of the members in this class are already in another Bhakti Shastri group. So I not considering them because they are already part of Bhakti Vriksha. Okay, so I think we can end here. We have another class happening at 9.
Okay.
Vancha kalpatarubhasya kripasindhabe vacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha Vaishnava Ki Jai. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.